First of all, I'm so proud of and I'm so happy for our guest today, Jaylen Hollywood Bell, four-star cornerback, class of 2025 out of Grayson in Georgia, powerhouse program there in Loganville. And Jaylen, I'm so happy for you because you just came down to Miami for an unofficial visit and
Mhm.
you earned an offer from the University of Miami. So talk us through that moment. What was that like?
It was everything, man. So going through the whole visit, just seeing how the way Miami is built and the atmosphere and the way the team was practicing, it just really brought my attention. I loved it. First of all, I loved the visit and just receiving that offer at the end of the day, man. That meant the world to me. Just seeing how just knowing the history behind Miami and the school and the football is just that meant the world to me.
And that was awesome, man. And I wished I could have been there Friday. That was the one day that I had to miss this past week. So talk me through that visit. What was it like? What did you see? Who did you talk to?
I was up and early. It was me and my father. We had went to the meetings. So boom, we went to DB meetings. Sat in the back while the DBs and coach Chevis Jackson was talking about the day and how practice is gonna go. And then we watched the walkthrough, and then boom, we went into practice. And it started off early with the competition and watching Josiah Trader and Dylan Porter Jr. just go at it. That was like one of them experiences, any DB or wide receiver want to witness, them just competing and just sharpening each other's iron. So, watch practice, and then after practice, I had Coach Sewell. Coach Sewell, he was directing me and my father around, and Coach Mike Rumpf. He played there, he went there, made a name for himself over there. So they were just directing us the whole way. Um, we toured campus, saw the dorms, got to know a lot about the academics. Um, just toured the campus, saw all the college kids around campus, enjoying themselves, and it just looked like a permanent vacation. Because Miami, it's always the weather is unbelievable, and you can just go out there, walk out there, no shirt, tank top, just enjoy yourself. So
Permanent vacation. That's the perfect way to describe it, Jalen. It
right.
really is.
Right. So, and then at the end of the day, they bought me and my father to Coach Cristobal's office. And then, my heart dropped. So, we talked to him. He was just giving me some wise words and just telling me always be where my feet are. If I'm in the classroom, be the best in the classroom. If I'm on the field, be the best on the field. So, he was just giving me wise words, just telling me keep going and keep going at the pace I'm going because I'm on the right pace. I told him that I was learning the coverages. I was trying to, learn more and bring back to my school and to my football IQ. So, I was just learning their coverages and their techniques on the defensive back position. And, he loved that. He fell in love with that. So, and then it all came down to him giving me an offer to the University of Miami.
That's awesome. I'm so happy for you. How'd you get the nickname Hollywood? By the way, it's just a great nickname for a football player. How'd you get that?
Growing up, I came from up north, Union, New Jersey. So I played for the Brick City Lions in Newark, New Jersey. So growing up playing football, I just always carried that confidence and swag with me. So growing up playing for Nasir Gaines up in Newark, he just always observed me and watched how I move since I was 8 to 14 years old. And just one practice when I was around like 10 or 11 years old, I had the drip on, So in practice, he was like playing one day, he just said, I'm gonna start calling you Hollywood. So I just carried that around me everywhere I go. So I always give him props for that because he's the one that named me that.
That is so cool, man. And I know that this is a busy time for you. Heading into, well, you're still a junior in high school, but heading into your senior season, going through all this recruitment process. I'm so glad you had a great visit down to Miami. What are some of the other schools that are really standing out to you so far?
Some other schools standing out to me right now are Indiana, Mississippi State, Texas A&M, West Virginia, and UCF.
Oh, no, yeah, that's not too far from here either. I mean, well, all the Floridians will tell you Miami's the place to be, but
Yes,
uh,
sir.
no,
Mhm.
I love to hear that. And you mentioned you told the cool story of some of the advice Mario Cristobal gave to you. What are your impressions so far, and how often do you talk to Coach?
I talk to Coach Jackson every single day. Actually,
That's
he's
awesome.
been building a relationship with me every single day ever since he got the Miami job. About not too long ago, about 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. So ever since he got that job, he hit me up and just started building a relationship with me and my parents and actually my whole family. So he's been checking up on me, making sure I've been doing good in the school and as a person. And that's what I just look for in a coach, like someone who cares for you outside of school and outside of football. So that was always good to me. So I just been talking to Coach Jackson every single day.
That's awesome, and you know Coach Jackson at this point better than I do because since he's so new, I haven't even had a chance to talk to him yet. So
Hmm.
that's awesome to hear that he's doing a good job there and he's active in recruitment and all that stuff. You mentioned that advice that Cristobal gave you about wherever your feet are, and I know you work hard in the classroom as well. Do you have any idea what you want to study when you get to college, or is it too early to tell?
Oh, growing up, me and my mother just always been thinking about studying in meteorology. And
Wow.
yeah, very, very different. Not too many college coaches or people have heard athletes say that, but we just think it's different. And if things don't go well with football, there's always a plan B. The ball is always going to hit the ground one day, so you can't play football forever. So meteorology, looking into meteorology and the weather, that was always been a plan B for me.
Now, talk to me about the season you just had at Grayson. I was able to watch your highlights and your huddle, and people need to know a lot of interceptions, a lot of pass breakups, a lot of tackles. And I know you play for a very competitive program. You have great teammates as well. Talk to me a little bit about what you accomplished on the field and what your team accomplished this past year. Folks, are you the kind of driver that likes to push things a little further? Ever wonder what adventure could be around that next corner? Our friends at Nissan have a lineup of SUVs with the capabilities to take your adventure to the next level. The 2024 Nissan Rogue is perfect for city drives and great escapes. Class exclusive Google built in is your always updating assistant to call on for almost anything. Gone are the days of connecting your phone. Google Assistant, Google Maps, and Google Play Store are built right into the 12.3-inch HD touchscreen infotainment system. The 2024 Rogue is the perfect midsize crossover for your next adventure. How about the 2024 Nissan Pathfinder? Has room up to 8, an expansive cargo capacity, and advanced available 4x4 capability with 284 horsepower and up to 6,000 pounds of towing. When adventure calls, the Pathfinder is there to answer. Take the Nissan Rogue, Nissan Pathfinder, or Nissan Armada and go find your next big adventure. Shop nissanusa.com. And I already know you're keeping it locked to FanDuel. And why would you not, folks? We're winning money. We're having a great time this basketball season. March Madness is almost here. You could say goodbye to busted brackets because FanDuel lets you bet on every game of the tournament. Every game. Whether you're betting on a big upset or a one seed, it's time to go dancing on America's #1 sports book because right now, new customers get $200. Wow, they keep raising it. $200 in bonus bets right now if your first $5 bet wins. That's $200 to use on point spreads, money lines. You can even pick who's going to win the entire tournament. Just visit fanduel.com/locked on and bet on college hoops until they cut down those nets. And guys, conference tournaments and the big dance, NIT, you can bet on everything right there at FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the Locked On College Network.
Some things I accomplished on the field last season were just getting to know every spots at the defensive back position. People get injured, people get hurt. So, it was my time to just step into the safety role, nickel role. So, I started experiencing a whole bunch of other positions. And some of my team accomplishments were just getting close to each other. We had experienced a whole new staff than the past 3 years, 2 years. So we had to adapt to that. So we all were just building a close relationship. So going into this next season, we'll be closer than ever in order to win a state championship.
When you get to college, is there a certain spot in the defensive backfield you want to play? Like you mentioned, playing multiple spots. Where do you see yourself?
I see myself playing nickel, guarding the slots and, forcing the football inside.
That's something every team is always in need, and it's hard to find a good nickel. I've noticed that, so
Mhm.
that's going to be a good role for you to play. So, what's next for you in the process? Do you have any other unofficial visits or anything coming up, and do you hope to get back down to Miami at any point soon?
Oh, I pray to get back down to Miami. That's something me and my parents are talking about right now. But some upcoming visits I have are Penn State spring game, Mississippi State, Texas A&M soon. So I'm just taking that all at one time. Just taking being careful with my decision.
And how, you mentioned your family a lot. When it does come time to pick a school, how instrumental is family going to be, and chats and everything? Like, how do you plan to make that decision?
Me and my family all plan on making that decision as one. We all plan to just agree on it as one. So, we're all just being careful with that and just trying to find the right school for me. Not trying to rush the process or nothing. Just you know putting it in God's hands, and whatever school I end up at, I just pray I excel at it.
And with that said, I'm certainly not trying to rush you on anything, but do you have a timetable in mind, or are you just sort of taking it day by day?
I think my commitment date will be before my senior season, sometime around the end of summer.
And that's calculated, right? Because I know that a lot of players and a lot of high school coaches probably prefer it this way if you get the decision before the season, so you're less distracted, right?
Yes, sir.
I like that a lot. And I have something I have noticed since Cristobal has been at Miami, especially, is recruiting a lot of players from Georgia. Like, there are a handful of guys, from, you're from New Jersey originally, but in Georgia now. There's a handful of Georgia players who are on the team now. A guy like Luke Nickel, who's committed for the class of 2025. So
Yes, sir.
I've noticed Miami has a big hand in the Peach State, and why not? Because yeah, we talk a lot on this show about the importance of South Florida recruits, but
Mhm.
Georgia has some players, man. Like that. That's a great state for high school football. So I'm happy. I'm happy that they're finding players like yourself to recruit up there.
Yes, sir. I am too. I am.
I love it. Well, Jaylen Hollywood Bell, I can't tell you how much I appreciate the time. Oh, and one more thing I did want to ask you actually before I let you run is there any NFL player, current or former, that you kind of model your game after, that you grew up thinking I want to play like this guy?
Well, some people I've always modeled my game after would be Jair. Some players like my height, my size, like Jair
Yeah.
Alexander, Sante Samuel. Guys that are really feisty and really aggressive at the line, and finish every play with aggressiveness. So, those players I always watch every day, study their game because I'll be in their position one day. So, definitely those players right there.
And you mentioned to me right before we got started, you just came from a workout. I know you had a workout last night as well. What's your training regimen like these days? How many nights a week do you work out, and what's that program like for you?
Well, I'll give you an example. For a day like yesterday. Before school, I'll work out 6:15 in the morning. Go through school and lift with my team at 10:30 in the morning. We'll do stations outside and then go in the weight room right after, just like college does. Cause Grayson is a powerhouse, so
Yeah.
they model their stuff right after college. So, and then after school, I do speed and agility work. Try to get that 40 down and try to get my twitchiness for those fast receivers. And then last night I ended it with off with defensive back work, with Coach Oliver Davis, one of the best DB trainers in the world right now. So, went down to Atlanta and trained with him, had a great session with him, and then I ended off with some food and took it down after that.
Well, good for you, man. Jaylen Bell, I'll be praying for you and your family as you make this decision. And I'm so happy you got that Miami offer. And I hope the next time you come down, I'll be able to meet you in person. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Go Canes.
That's right. Threw up the U. I love it. We'll talk to you guys again next time. Thanks so much to Jaylen. Thanks so much to everyone who watched and listened. We'll talk to you next time on another episode of Locked On Canes, part of the awesome Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.